Hot stone. Very relaxing. Good price.
What if I want something more relaxing?
I have very hot girl for you. Ask her for specials.
You get undressed.
Lily, right? Mm-hmm. My buddies say that you're good with full service.
Yeah. You want executive release, level 1, honeymoon.
That's it. All units, game on.
Here we go.
In New York City, sexually based offenses are considered especially heinous. These are their stories.
Hey guys, welcome to Munch My Benson. My name is Adam. I was supposed to be in Houston going to the DMV and dropping my child off with my mother-in-law, but there was some flooding up there today, so I'm in Galveston and I have a sleeping 10-month-old child in the room next to me. I'm joined on the line by Josh. How's it going up in the North Country, Josh?
It's going peachy.
Nice.
I'm about to get my second shot.
Excellent.
Which hopefully does not affect the edit of episode 54, which I'm currently working on. I guess you'll find out, people. And we're going to a Twins game tonight.
Nice.
Twins Royals. For those who aren't aware, I wrote about the Royals for, I don't know, like 10 years, 9 years.
How were the prices, if you don't mind my asking?
So this is the first year that Jackie's parents have gotten season tickets.
Ah, cool.
They just got one of those 20 game packages or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
This is the first game we've been able to go to. The nice thing about this first month of the season is that there's almost no one there.
Yeah.
They're still doing you basically have one set of people sitting per row.
Mm-hmm.
And, they're staggered, right aisle, center, left aisle in rows of 3. So, as a, sort of borderline hypochondriac, I don't feel like I have much to worry about. So that's nice.
Yeah. And Target Field's outside. So that's also a nice thing. Frankly, I can't wait to, when we're up in New York, hopefully they're still doing the COVID protocols with regard to fan size, because I am stoked about sitting in a 30% filled stadium. I love empty baseball stadiums.
Yeah. That was the best thing about going to pre-competitive Astros games.
Exactly. Absolutely. I saw Roy Halladay throw a one-hit shutout.
Didn't you see Martin Perez almost no-hit the Astros too?
Not Martin Perez. I saw Yu Darvish have probably his best game score game.
Okay.
He had 16 strikeouts and was on a perfect game going into the 7th. So I did see that. I've seen some good pitching against the Astros. But
yeah. Well, we saw Greinke fucking destroy the Astros back in the day.
Hold on one second. I've got a phone call.
Leave your name and message. I'll get back to you.
Jim? Sally? Hey, I just found out you're an Aries. Listen, if you have Virgo rising, give me a call.
I guess we should get into this episode, though, Josh. I don't really feel great about this one that we just watched, which was season 21. So I kind of have a different set of standards from season 21, I suppose, than I do from, seasons 1 or 2, as far as what is fun problematic and what isn't. And
yeah, the distance of 20 years makes things a little more fun than when it's really fresh and the wounds are not even remotely healed.
Yeah, and I also would say there's just society has evolved to a point where we can look back and laugh at stuff that seemed okay back then that we know is not okay now. But looking back to 2019 to see stuff that is not okay doesn't feel as good, I guess. And so, we're watching an episode from season 21. It's episode 7. It's called Counselor. It's Chinatown. And it sure is. A young woman, Mei Mei, is sitting in a lovely bright sitting room FaceTiming with her brother in San Francisco when a rangy-looking tough guy and another young woman, Lily, enter and tell Mamie it's time to go. Where are they going, you ask? Well, though they are being followed by an elaborate SVU sting operation, they seem to be having a fairly normal outing on the town. The guy buys some cigs, Mamie gets a great price on grapes, and then they all take a nap on a park bench with a lovely view of the East River. All in all, it seems like a lovely day for our trio, so why is an elite division of the NYPD photographing their every move? SVU has launched a task force to crack down on human trafficking and sexual slavery at massage parlors. They've chosen a fairly racist name for their sting, Operation Dragon Slay. They are focusing their efforts on one particular rub-and-tug joint, the Sweet Joy Relax Spa on Eldridge. The spa's madam, Evelyn Lee, and her underworld muscle man, Charlie Hugh, are taking in $50K a week in off-menu extras, and the girls are likely being forced to perform heinous sex acts on hideous men to pay off their snakehead smugglers. Now it's time for our squad to get their hands, and maybe a few other body parts, dirty as they head back undercover. Finn and visiting Asian cop Joe Chin head inside for some full service, while Benson and ADA Carisi watch the action from a van parked out front. After hearing all they needed to hear, the NYPD busts down the doors and starts cuffing creeps and breaking up happy endings. Mamie is found manipulating a rather rotund man's equipment and runs out a window to escape. While my understanding of the operation was that the women weren't targets of the raid, Carisi, who is not a police officer, runs out of the surveillance van to apprehend the fleeing Mamie. His pursuit causes her to attempt an extremely dangerous jump off the fire escape, which nearly kills her. Charlie and Evelyn are taken in for questioning, while Rollins talks to Mamie, and Kat shows off her significant Sinitic language skills with Lily. Both girls give them a picture of the operation. Their families are essentially being held as collateral by the shadowy figures behind the spa, and if the girls stop earning, their families will pay the price. Evelyn is not remotely intimidated by the police's questions, but Charlie, for some reason, reveals a closed-circuit camera network in the spa which provides ample evidence of illicit tugging going on. One of the videos seems to show Mamie getting raped by a smug dickhead named Theo Pappas, who gets his services free of charge due to his guangxi, or connections. Theo clams up, and Mamie refuses to testify, so the investigation rests on Lily testifying against Evelyn in court. Before she heads into the grand jury chambers, though, Lily receives a text and asks to use the bathroom. It seems to be taking a while, so Kat heads into the John to discover that Lily had taken a header out an unsecured fourth-floor window and now lies in a pool of blood on the street below. Kat finds Lily's phone and checks that final text, which is a photo of Lily's terrified mother with a gun to her head. Mamie tells them that Charlie was in love with Lily, so Finn and Chin to use the suicide of his sweetie to get Charlie to give up Theo Pappas's connected pal, who is taken into custody after another undercover sting operation. This guy is a supremely Kushnerian shitbag named Rick Olin, who acts as a real estate broker for his father's company. In exchange for his son's freedom, Rick's shady dad gives up the names of the money behind the massage parlor empire. Arthur and Christine Chang, one of Park Avenue's most prominent power couples. Bureau Chief Hadid demands hard evidence of the Chang's involvement before pressing any charges, so Benson puts the squeeze on Madam Evelyn by threatening her daughter's college admission. Evelyn gives her the name of the bagman, Lester Ping, who runs a travel agency as a front, so NYPD raids the office and finds a vast underground bookkeeping operation beneath the front. I'm not sure that's how criminal enterprises operate.
Is you taking notes on a criminal fucking conspiracy? What the fuck is you thinking, man?
Still, the hall provides plenty of evidence for an arrest warrant, and the Changs are taken into custody. After seeing the evidence laid out against her, Christine Chang blames the Chinese Communist Party and the Cultural Revolution for forcing her into a life of prostitution, which she now sees as an escape for thousands of young girls fleeing oppression, and she confesses almost immediately to all charges against her in exchange for letting her alien husband walk. At Christine's arraignment hearing, a U.S. attorney arrives to take Christine into federal custody due to her international contacts, which suspends New York's case, lets Christine walk, and reveals reveals Mei Mei's complicity in the investigation. While we could, and probably should, have Dick Wolfed right here, somehow the Changs agree to pay off Mei Mei's debt. Kat feels bad about letting Lily die. And Mei Mei and her brother share an implausible anecdote about their childhood before she flies off to SF to live with him. And we are left with the only real victims are the cops who feel bad because they're bad at their jobs, Dick Wolf.
Yeah. This was an episode.
Yeah, the first thing I want to get out of the way is I feel like if I feel uncomfortable saying certain words that they used over and over again in this episode, I guess my standard is if it seems like it's racist, it's probably racist, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm talking specifically because they call the Margaret Cho character, who we'll talk about in a sec, Evelyn. They call her Mama-san a lot, and I don't know, man.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot to unpack here. Should we jump into guest stars, I guess?
Let's do the guest stars first. We have a way we do these things, and I think that's appropriate.
Okay, so we've got two recurring characters that Munch, My Benson have not covered yet because they've not showed up in an episode.
Yeah.
So we'll start with Bureau Chief Vanessa Hadid, who is played by Zuleika Robinson. Hadid is the one who hired Carisi, because Carisi at the end of season 20 finished law school, passed the bar, or he passed the bar. He'd finished law school earlier in the season, I believe. Mm-hmm. But he passed the bar and, was fixing to try to be an ADA. So she hired Carisi. She seems to exist only to butt heads with SVU.
Yeah, that's seems what her character is. This is the first
time I've seen
her.
every time. Yeah. I've seen every episode, so I know this is the case. This is even in the cases where she sort of helps SVU ultimately, there's a lot of dumb butting of heads that leads up to that. So
she's kind of like season 21's Sonia Paxton, just without the alcoholism.
Without anything going for her.
Yeah.
Because at least maybe Zuleika Robinson can act in other things. But I don't think she's got it here. And she's not Christine Lottie.
Yeah, I would not want to put this performance on my reel if I were an actor. I did not think it was very good.
No. So she was, other stuff you might have seen her in. She was Jessica in The Merchant of Venice opposite Al Pacino. She was the female lead in Hidalgo. She had recurring roles in The Exorcist, The Following, Homeland, Lost, The Lone Gunman, and Rome.
So she's been in a lot of good stuff. Yeah.
She also appeared in an episode of The X-Files.
Nice.
So,
she's part of the universe.
Yep, she's twice part of the universe because Munch appeared in the X-Files. The other recurring character that we came across today that we had not seen yet was arraignment judge Gloria Pepitone. She is played by Sonia Manzano. This is one of 10 appearances so far for Sonia Manzano on SVU as Gloria Pepitone. She is Maria from Sesame Street.
Nice.
Which she also wrote on. She was on Sesame Street for 44 years. She was twice nominated for an Emmy as Outstanding Performer in a Children's Series and won 15 Emmys as a writer.
Damn.
Yeah. She was born in Linwood, New Jersey, raised in the South Bronx. Went to High School of the Performing Arts, where Fame was set. She also had a recurring role as Chattanooga in 3 episodes of BJ and the Bear.
Nice.
Okay, so getting on to normal guest stars. First off, we've got Margaret Cho, obviously. She's playing Evelyn Lee. Cho. Yeah. She's playing Evelyn Lee, a very famous Korean-American stand-up.
Yeah.
5-time Grammy nominee for Best Comedy Album.
Yeah.
She was an Emmy nominee for Outstanding Guest Actress in a Comedy Series for playing Kim Jong-il on 30 Rock. She had her own sitcom in the 90s, All American Girl. She had her own reality show on VH1 for a season called The Cho Show. She was Terry Lee in Drop Dead Diva, so main cast there. She had small parts in the Doom Generation, Face Off, 17 again, Bright, and Sharknado 5. I saw her randomly at the Comedy Store, just, going for a night, and she was really great.
Yeah, I bet. She's funny, man. I'm surprised you didn't go back and watch the Red Shoe Diaries episode she was in from 1993.
I thought about it. I can't remember if it's this episode or the next one, but someone else was also in a Red Shoe Diaries. Anyway, next up is Nelson Lee, who's playing Sergeant Joe Chin. He was born in Taipei and grew up in Canada. He's main cast in Blade the series and Traffic the miniseries. He has recurring roles on Stargirl, Claws, 10 Days in the Valley, and going back to Oz, he was recurring on that for a few episodes.
Yeah, he's in the live-action Mulan that just came out.
He is. Yeah, this is his second appearance on SVU, having appeared in Inheritance all the way back in season 3. He was also in 2 episodes of the original series and 1 Criminal Intent. He's directed a handful of shorts and co-directed a feature that came out pretty recently. That one of the other guys in this episode's in. I'll get there when I get there. Next up, we've got Shuya Chang, who is playing Mei Mei Lee. She was raised in Austria. This I found out on her Instagram. I had to do some really fucking weird searching on this episode.
Yeah, it sounds like
it was not just on IMDb. So she is third billed in Me, You, Madness, which is Steve Mnuchin's wife's directorial debut. It's her directorial debut / star vehicle / viciously panned vanity project starring opposite of Ed Westwick and the aforementioned Louise Linton, Steve Mnuchin's wife. That movie looks fucking horrible.
Kind of want to watch it.
Okay, so the trivia on IMDb for Me, You, Madness is Louise Linton came up with the concept and they even get the name wrong. Louise Linton came up with the concept for You, Me, Madness, not Me, You, Madness, after falling asleep in a hot car following a trip to the pharmacy. She described a, quote, doors-like vision, end quote, of an indigenous man telling her to make a movie about a girl boss serial killer. So she did.
I don't see a single thing about this that sounds bad. It sounds amazing.
I implore you to watch the trailer and tell me that it doesn't look bad. Oh, God. It's like just viciously panned. Anyway, back to Shuya Chang. She played Han Mei in Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, Sword of Destiny.
Yeah.
She's in some Robert Rodriguez short with John Malkovich that looks like it's not supposed to be released until 2115.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah, 2115 for real.
So almost 100
That's
years
the release
from now?
date. Yes, that is the release date for this short on fucking IMDb.
Interesting.
She's also in an episode of Counterpart. Okay, next up, and this is the first of kind of 2 funny credits. We've got Christine Chang playing Lily Song. She was a competitive figure skater for 8 years and trained at the University of Delaware. She graduated from Yale. She had small parts in a handful of shows and movies. She's a recurring character on New Amsterdam as Dr. Agnes Cow. Now, Karen Sen Lee is playing Christine Chang.
Yeah.
If you were paying attention, Lily Song is played by Christine Chang. Karen Sen Lee is playing a character named one of the other actresses' names.
Whoa.
Yes. So there's a character, Christine Chang, who's played by Karen Sen Lee. There's a character, Lily Song, who's played by Christine Chang. All right. So Karen Sen Lee, she's born in New York. This is her 8th different character played in the Law & Order universe. 8. It's her 4th character on SVU alone. She has played a recurring character on SVU, DNA Tech /ME, Suzanne Chung. She was in 9 fucking episodes of SVU as this character.
I knew she was familiar.
Yeah. She also appeared in an episode of Homicide: Life on the Street.
Nice.
So, she's like completely melting one's brain. Though we haven't covered one of her SVU episodes yet.
Yeah. Her husband Arthur.
Yes.
Henry
Yuck
has been in.
He's got a really great website.
Oh, he does? Interesting.
Yeah. Really good website. Very helpful to me.
Nice. He has a lot of credits. Henry Yuck does.
Shitloads of credits.
Yeah.
So his parents were from Guangdong province. He was born and raised in Brooklyn, though. He went to Brooklyn College.
Nice.
In addition to English, he speaks Cantonese and Taishanese.
Okay.
He had small parts in The Pope of Greenwich Village, Chud, The Last Dragon, Radio Days, Kiss of Death, Kundun, The Departed. He also appeared in an episode of Gideon Oliver.
Nice.
Which was the Dick Wolf show about an archaeologist who solves crimes, played by Lou Gossett Jr.
I believe he's an anthropologist, but
Or maybe he's a cultural
anyways, I did watch part of one episode and it was fantastic, and I kind of want to revisit it because as I finally finished, Q Into the Storm, and I need something else to watch. And
so good.
It was really fantastic. Like everything I wanted from a 6-part documentary series. That's for sure.
Oh yeah. Back to Henry Yuck. He was also in The Sopranos, Chappelle's Show. He was in an episode of the original series and CI. He had larger roles as Mr. Yang in Luke Cage and Iron Fist, and as Long Z in the Justin Lin Bruce Lee Cinemax show Warrior.
Nice.
I've only got 3 left. I know you have one that I don't have.
I have a couple. Let's see, 1, 2. I have at least 4.
Okay, so I've got Lawrence Cow next.
Yeah, Lawrence
Cow. He's playing Charlie, who he grew up in Hacienda Heights, which is between City of Industry and the mountains that run northeast of Whittier. He went to UC Irvine. He's done some stage acting in California and at the Guthrie in Minneapolis. He was in AI Tales, which Nelson Lee, Joe Chin, co-directed. He was main cast in Woo Assassins on Netflix. He had recurring roles in the Purge series, the Sleepy Hollow series, the originals, and The Walking Dead.
Nice.
Next up for me, I've got Michael.
Just to step back, I thought Lawrence Cow was probably the only guest who can feel 100% proud of his performance. Frankly, I thought he was pretty good. Yeah. I think Karen Sen Lee as Christine Chang was good too. Yeah, she was good. Yeah. That's for sure.
And she had kind of the one meaty scene.
That's exactly right. Yeah.
Then we've got Michael Tao, who's playing Counselor Josh Wang. He was a pharmacist in Sound of Metal.
Yeah, which I really want to see. Have you seen it? Yeah, it looks really
cool. Then he played Agent Chen in 2 episodes of that Nosferatu show that is NOS4A2.
Yeah.
He had bit parts in Jungleland, Slender Man, Master of None. He's also produced, written, and directed some shorts, including a short about whitewashing in superhero movies / shows called Irony Fist.
Nice.
A year later, he appeared in Iron Fist. And then last up for me, I've got Lee Wilkoff, who's playing Avi Olin.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that character name later. He's the pride of Canton, Ohio. He went to University of Cincinnati. He's a stage actor / writer / director. He was Seymour in the original off-Broadway production of Little Shop of Horrors and recorded the cast album for it.
Really? I didn't see that. Wow, that's cool.
Yeah. He was nominated for a Tony for Kiss Me Kate. Fuck Kiss Me Kate and everything to do with that fucking Shakespeare play. Nominated for 3 Drama Desk Awards and an Obie. He was main cast in Delta House, the sitcom adaptation of Animal House, and Max fucking Headroom.
Yeah, exactly. Which is one of the most important notes in his IMDb page.
Oh, yeah, for sure. It's the most important note.
But he was also in the pilot of Cop Rock, Josh. So that's another fairly important
Someone
role.
else was in Cop Rock, too.
Exactly.
And it's one of only 3 credits that they had.
Exactly.
That's who I know you want to talk about next. Just to close out Lee Wilkoff, he had recurring roles on Ally McBeal, Heart to Heart, High Maintenance, Alpha House, and he appeared 6 times in the original series.
He was in School of Rock. He's in a lot of stuff. Yeah, he's got a big, long page. So Lothair Eaton was also in Cop Rock. He was the man getting tugged off by May May when the raid happens at the spa. And then I do have the last shithead, Asher Grodman, the one I described as Kushnerian. And I stand by that description. He was in Succession, and House of Cards. He had a few good roles.
But his Succession part I did not remember.
I don't remember it either. I can only imagine he was a sniveling shitbird, though, because
but he's in the Hunt episode, so it's sort of like, okay, whatever. Like,
that's right. Yeah, he probably was just a background small part.
Yeah. He's such a sniveling shitheel in this that I don't want to fucking talk about him really. Even though he's fine at doing that, but
back to Lee Wilkoff, I forgot one thing I forgot to mention. So he was in a film from 1982 called The Entity, which I only really noticed because, it's starring Barbara Hershey and Ron Silver, but it was directed by Sidney J. Furie, who was supposed to be the director of Night of the Juggler, but was taken off and replaced by a guy who basically has no other film directing credits, which I thought was interesting.
And Sidney J. Furie, oh god damn it, I've got a dumb thing open.
He has a bunch of like, he went from being like a kind of gritty director in the 70s to being the Iron Eagle director in the 80s.
Yeah, he also directed Ladybugs.
Yeah.
And Superman 4, Quest for Peace.
Exactly. But he had like some 70s credits that aren't that bad, I guess. I don't know, Lady Sings the Blues. And no, I guess not. Not too many. But it looks like, Iron Eagle 2, and Iron Eagle on the Attack. So he's spent a lot of time with Lou Gossett Jr.
Yeah. A lot of time. So, as we mentioned last week, this episode is directed by famous Halifagian Leslie Hope.
Yeah.
She starred opposite of Emilio Estevez and Charlie Sheen in Men at Work and was Terry Bauer, Jack Bauer's wife on 24, amongst many, many other things. She's been acting since 1983 and has 110 acting credits, including a teen drunk driving CBS school break special, All the Kids Do It, which featured alleged sexual abuser Scott Baio alongside George Zunda and Danny DeVito.
Nice. There's a cat on the roof.
There's always cats on that roof.
Not there really aren't, only when we record.
This is at least twice on the podcast that you've seen a cat on
I know, totally different cat. Great actress. Obviously, Men at Work is...
I don't know that the direction was bad in this.
I guess not.
I don't... A TV director, you're not taking...
Yeah, you're not
taking responsibility for, the story that's being told. You're just doing a really functionary... You're just making sure everyone's hitting their marks and you're fucking, you're making your days.
So I guess I should talk about a fairly big topic, because I might as well just, knock it out, right?
Okay.
Because this episode obviously delves deep into the world of Asian massage parlors. And so I did a little bit of a deep dive into this world. And I was pretty interested
by what I found. How many did you go to, Adam?
I went to none, but I did some reading about them. Okay. Now, I guess this episode kind of treads in the stereotype you have of these places, that these women must be getting trafficked by somebody. And I gotta say, the research that I did actually kind of disputes that. So a lot of articles about this topic will interview police and sort of NGO nonprofits whose mission is to stop human trafficking.
Mm-hmm.
Well, according to one article that I read that seemed very well researched and very well, really good interviews that she did. This is an article in Vice, in which we will link, by a woman named Hallie Lieberman, who, in addition to be a journalist with Vice and Deadspin, has also, this was before Deadspin fell apart, but she's also like a PhD in essentially sex work, is what all of her research is about.
Okay.
And she went and did a very extensive study of these massage parlors in Flushing, which is, so they said it in Chinatown in this episode, but really the heart of this whole world is in Flushing, which is the bigger Chinatown in Queens. And
the issue, of course, is that real estate's much more expensive in Chinatown.
Yeah, exactly.
So
and it's just,
you wouldn't have all that money tied up in just massage parlors.
Sure, but so she went, and instead of talking to the NGOs whose kind of bottom line depends on getting money to stop human trafficking, she went and actually talked to the women involved in the trade, and lots of them. She talked to lots and lots of them. Ones that were moving around to state, ones that were living in their massage parlor rooms, others that were doing pretty well for themselves. And she found almost no evidence of any human trafficking. Now, a lot of times they do have to pay these snakeheads to help them get to the United States. And so they have a debt to them. And so they have to pay off the debt. But they're not forced into prostitution. Most of them actually choose it because, A, it's actually safer and more comfortable than domestic work, which is one of the main kind of avenues that these women can go into when they come to the United States, being like living in people's homes and being their domestic servants. I mean, that really is like slavery a lot of times, apparently.
As we saw in the Michael Emerson episode that we covered.
Yeah, exactly. And it's that is definitely something that happens, but also they're able to earn back the money much, much faster this way. And what most of these women are coming to the United States for is to support their families back home. Most of them are not young girls like Lily and May. Most of them are actually women in their 40s and 50s, apparently.
Yeah, with children.
With children back home to support. And part of the reason they're coming here is because Chinese society is so effing misogynistic that they will, like, jobs will be posted that say, like, ideally men wanted, or things like that.
Or women need not apply.
Exactly. Yeah. So at a certain point in your life, you're unable to earn a living as a woman in China, and you come to the United States looking for a better life. And so you're either going to be somebody's slave in their home, or she talks to one woman that's earning like $100K a year doing this. And most of them have a fair amount of agency, as it turns out. If they're living in the parlors, it's because they don't want to pay rent somewhere else. And it's actually, like most things, more complicated than many people would have you hear.
Right.
Now, so this specific episode, which was season 21, was coming out right around the time when Asian massage parlors were in the news, because a noted friend of Donald Trump, Robert Kraft, had been busted in a Florida rub and tug joint. And this is sort of like a classic example of what happens when these places get busted. So they bust up the place, and instead of being able to do anything to Robert Kraft, what they are able to do is to ruin these women's livelihood and basically post their faces all over the place, so they are embarrassed here and at home and unable to earn anymore. But Robert Kraft, nothing really happens to him. He shows up at court once or twice and they drop the charges. That's it. And it goes away. Also, in the course of all this stuff, in NYPD busting up a massage parlor in Flushing, a woman fell to her death from a high window. Now, it was never proven that the police pushed her out or whether she jumped out, but either way, the community there is pretty certain that her death was caused by police interactions.
Yeah.
And also,
which is presumably why we have two separate women in this episode
nearly falling to their deaths. Yeah, exactly.
Well, one does and one almost does.
Yeah. And of course, as if as if police interactions with sex workers isn't problematic in the real world enough. As it turns out, the women who work in these places have much more to fear from the police than they do from Johns, typically. Because the police often will in many cases, so there was one case that Hallie Lieberman was writing about, and I'm losing it right here, but I think in Oakland, where basically the police were extorting free sex work from these women in exchange for letting them stay open. So it's like classic,
fairly predictably.
Yeah, exactly. Classic awful bullshit. And then these NGOs their mission is to stop sex trafficking. They often have really weird stories. And of course, in my mind, because Munch My Benson is sort of a baseball show, I went straight to former White Sox player Adam LaRoche, who is part of a really weird organization called Exodus Road, which their mission was to stop sex slavery all over the world. But they ended up, I guess, partaking a lot of times to be undercover on these operations. Really weird shit going on with this organization, including sexual misconduct between different members of the organization and them, going a little too far undercover in their work. So I
hope Drake LaRoche wasn't involved.
Oh, hope not. Yeah. Wasn't he the heart and soul behind the White Sox for many years?
Yeah, he's the reason that him needing to be in the clubhouse was the reason that Adam LaRoche retired abruptly and unceremoniously.
Oh, that's right.
Because I think it was Chris Sale and some other players were like, we don't need this fucking kid in the clubhouse.
Yeah, can we not have this kid here?
Can we not have this tween in here?
With naked men and...
the fuck?
So that's sort of that. With most things, I think that sex work is not ever really a one-sided affair, and I think it's really easy to put all of to make these women be victims all the time, because oftentimes they're not.
Yeah.
Because oftentimes it's not necessarily the worst possible thing. There's definitely worse things than being a sex worker, I think, for a lot of people, and I think in this case,
especially so much of the criticism always comes from such a fundamentally puritanical place anyway.
Yeah.
The dumb fucking foundation upon which this country was, founded. And so, so much of that is coloring what's really a much more nuanced issue.
Yeah, absolutely. I completely agree. But I guess that's my my polemic for the day. So I guess we can get to the episode.
So, right off the bat, doesn't it seem weird that this girl who seems to be under lock and key would be able to have a cell phone to video chat with a guy she knows in San Francisco?
Yeah, everything about what's going on here is super weird in this cold open.
The setup does not make sense.
For one thing, their place is real. If they're sleeping at the massage parlor, they don't have this lovely room. That room was nice. It had great windows, great light. It was somewhat spacious. If I had a seating area like that in my future apartment, I would be pretty happy about it.
Yeah. But that's the hour a day that they get to leave.
Yeah.
They go out to the park and get fucking surveilled by...
They take a nap.
Finn and Rollins and Kat.
They take a nap. They get a great deal on grapes. It was a pretty nice outing, if you ask me. Now, okay, so Finn, the first SVU they see when they leave is Finn, who's sitting at a Vietnam veterans kiosk.
Right. Like one of those Chinatown table setups. Yeah.
Now, interesting thing about this, Josh. So obviously, listeners know that we record these in advance, but today is the anniversary of the fall of Saigon. It was April 30th, 1975. So callback. Now, I looked into this. Ice-T was born February 16th, 1958. Now, U.S. combat operations ended after the Treaty of Paris, or the Paris Peace Accords, rather, which happened January 28th, 1973. So T was 15 years old when U.S. combat operations ended in Vietnam. I don't think he could have realistically been a Vietnam combat vet, but I guess.
Well, I mean, in Lawrence Fishburne's a minor in.
That's true. Yeah, he's 13 years old
now.
Yeah, supposedly.
Yeah, he just looks old as shit.
Yeah, that's true.
So it's. I mean, we have a weird episode where we're starting in medias res.
Yeah, we sure are. Yeah, another. It works. I like it.
Yeah. I mean, I don't need a fuckload of setup to get to this point. You know?
I mean,
like I'm fine with it.
So we see Finn as a Vietnam vet. Then we see Rollins walking a dog. Who'd you get that dog from? Does like NYPD have like an undercover dog requisition department?
They have a sting dog.
A sting dog.
Sting dog department. Yeah. Max is into that.
Big time. Bandit wouldn't be good for that. He's more of a homeless dog, but still, just let me know, guys. Then we have Kat as a jogger. She looked the least out of place, I think, of the whole squad.
Right.
She looked like she could actually be jogging there on East River Park.
So right off of the surveillance, we cut to Sergeant Joe Chin, giving us our exposition dump. Of course, it's called Operation Dragon Slay, which, as you alluded to in the open,
kind of problematic.
It's not racist.
Yeah, kind of problematic.
And so they're going to be rooting out sex slavery and indentured servitude, basically, or indebted servitude is what they're calling it, at massage parlors. And then Sweet Joy Relax Spa. Kind of like the name.
Yeah.
I mean, it's lazy, but it's funny.
Yeah, it's lazy, but it's
at
funny.
Least funny. It's at least what we want out of it.
I mean, at least, so in Houston's Chinatown, I haven't found the rub and tug quarter, but I do know.
Though you've looked.
Well, I found the foot reflexology quarter, because there's about 100,000 of those want my mother-in-law's house. And they all have fairly lazy names like that, too. So it checks out.
I do want to give credit where credit's due, where Finn says, what if I want something more relaxing?
Yeah.
I feel like it was a really natural performance there,
Yeah, no, I liked Finn there. I liked Finn throughout this episode. I think he had kind of some of the best lines. I wanted to know, so I think it's Chin that's asking for a happy ending, and I believe it's Lily replies, do you want the executive release, the number one, or the honeymoon?
Or the honeymoon?
Yeah. What's the executive release? What's the honeymoon? I really want to know.
Yeah. But they're UCs, so we're not going to find out. We're not watching The Wire here.
Yeah, they're not allowed to unzip, that's for sure.
Kat, we find out, speaks a little Cantonese, Mandarin, and
Hokkien,
I don't know.
Which is another.
I mean, I'm assuming it's a dialect, I'm sure.
Well, no, okay. So, Sinitic languages lesson. So they are all different languages. They are mutually unintelligible. It's kind of like Italian is now kind of a language, but it used to be up until World War II. It was just a collection of closely related but mutually unintelligible languages. Chinese is the same way. Now, the vast majority of Chinese people speak Mandarin. Something like 900 million people speak Mandarin. But
and then Cantonese would be second most.
Cantonese, right? it's I'm not going to be able to pronounce it right, but it's like Yue or Yu is what they call Cantonese. And then Hokkien is another language that is spoken by people in South China, also in Taiwan. It's one of the bigger languages in Taiwan. Now, I'm not saying that it's impossible for Kat to speak these three languages well enough to communicate in them.
No, they're not saying she's fluent, that she speaks a little bit.
These are...
And that's from growing up in the hood.
Notoriously difficult languages to speak.
Yeah.
They are...
Well, and Kat, at this point, Kat's not even a junior detective.
I know.
She doesn't have her shield yet.
So. Yeah, I do like how Finn says, of course she does.
Yeah. And then we get this Mama-san say when done.
A lot of brutal.
Yeah, all of this like
Chinese accents going on.
And I feel so bad for these people who almost all of whom were born in the U.S.
Yeah.
Or, speak, I guess, Shuya Cheng, she grew up in Austria, but almost everybody else in this cast grew up in the U.S.
Yeah, it's brutal.
Yeah.
Apparently, from the little looking I did, apparently they do speak very good Mandarin when they're speaking Mandarin. So that's, I guess, one saving grace.
Yeah. But like Lily Song went to fucking Yale.
Yeah.
She's stuck having to do like,
what does she say? She says something that's just one of the most embarrassing things I've ever heard.
Yeah.
Money talkie, she says. It's horrifying.
Yeah, and you feel so bad for them.
Yeah, absolutely. Because none of them have extensive. None of the girls have extensive credits lists.
Yeah, but Lily Song went to fucking Yale. Like, I couldn't determine whether or not she'd gone to Yale School of Drama, but I wouldn't be surprised. And if she went to Yale School of Drama to do that.
Yeah, it's brutal. It's brutal. Warren Light SVU. It's not a great look.
Rough.
It's not a great look.
Yeah, and there is like the fucking the Lucy Liu episode where she was directing and cast all of the characters that were clearly not written to be Asian with Asian actors, but they should probably do more of that, I think.
Yeah, well, or I don't know,
have them not have to fucking do like some racist or stereotyped song and dance.
It's almost it's not that it's not a potentially interesting subject matter. Apparently, like something like 95% of arrests involving massage parlors do involve Asian women. So it's not.
Yeah.
It's not that it's not a thing that happens.
It's not fertile ground, but I think
there's a way to do it with more sensitivity, I think.
Yeah. Than have everyone just spewing like just.
It's bad.
Really uncomfortable stereotypes.
I mean, it's like Charlie Chan shit from the 50s. It's bad.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, it's really bad.
I at least it's Asian people, so it's not Breakfast at Tiffany's.
Yeah, but it's not very far off.
That's not far off. All right, so I did kind of like how Evelyn Lee was just like, you ain't got shit. I'll be back out and in business in no time.
Yeah, I think Margaret Cho is very good. She's a very good actress. She was another bright part in this. Not sure why she took it, but she's very good. Oh, I know where I'm going back to. Where am I? So going back a little bit, when Joe Chin is introducing Operation Dragon Slay, there's a number of photos on like a corkboard, and one of the photos, and it's not an actor we ever meet. It looks like fucking exactly like Paul Giamatti. Like, it looks like they just found a random paparazzi photo of Paul Giamatti, like, going to get breakfast and tacked it up on the board.
Nice.
It's impossible to tell for sure given the image quality, but I mean, that's what I saw.
Maybe we'll see that in an upcoming episode.
I hope so.
Man, Mama-san keeping the tips for the handies.
Yeah.
That's rough.
I mean, yeah, it's pretty rough. I think that I get like
you want to tug these guys off and then fucking not get the money for it.
I mean, one of the things this episode did have was a lot of fun setups with handies going on, or worse.
I mean, this is kind of peak hand job.
It sure is.
Okay, so they find the cams and the smoke detectors, and track down the surveillance footage from across the street.
Finn says condoms, lube. You know how many massage parlors I've raided? What's the point? Yeah. That's a good point.
This is all also because of the you look but you don't see or whatever the fuck.
Yeah, another like weird racist trope thing.
Yeah,
with
like I guess I don't know enough Chinese people to say whether or not this is absolutely true, but I feel like Chinese people probably don't speak in riddles like this.
Yeah, don't constantly speak in Asian proverbs.
Yeah. And it's not even a proverb. It's just like, it's like a made up proverb, presumably. Whatever. And then we have to watch a rape happen on a tablet.
Okay. Now, I did watch that scene on the tablet, and I can't say that a rape did not occur there, but I also can't say from that 5-second video clip that I couldn't be as sure
as Rollins watched enough to say, oh, here's a rape.
Yeah. She said it is pretty ugly.
And so then I feel fairly safe in assuming that that was about as much as they could show per S&P.
Yeah. But it was basically like,
without running afoul of the FCC.
I mean, there wasn't. There's. I believe, to quote one of the judges, do you know how many S&M dungeons and?
Yeah, it was Judge Ridenour.
That's right, Judge Ridenour. How many S&M bars there are in New York City? Can you say for certain that just watching a out of context clip of rough sex means that that there's a rape going on? Without somebody testifying to that effect, I don't know. It's pretty hard to say.
So then they get the cardigan rapist in there.
Yeah, I'm a huge fan of this guy. I wish he had more credits. Theo Pappas.
Yeah, it feels like he's really channeling Chris D'Elia here.
Yeah, sure. He does. He really does. He's completely out of place in this world, though, of like sordid Chinese gangsters and underground rub and tugs. He's wearing a fucking cardigan and like.
Do you think that they were outing Chris D'Elia as a sex monster? Because this is right before his Me Too comeuppance.
Interesting.
But it was sort of like a very
subtle dig at Chris D'Elia.
No. Well, it was a thing that was kind of known. Like there were sort of whispers about D'Elia for a while, and then then it came out that he was a groomer who's into teens.
But don't you think that would be somebody more in the comedy scene rather than like New York television?
I feel like this guy is absolutely channeling Chris D'Elia, though. Maybe he's a stand-up and is just like, you know what? This is what I'm going to do.
This is what I'm going.
This is the choice that he's making. Yeah.
He's like, wardrobe, no, I'm not wearing what you're giving me. I'm wearing this fucking cardigan.
Yeah. But like everything about his performance, just sitting there, looked like I was watching Chris D'Elia. And like Chris D'Elia is not like a cardigan guy, but everything else about him was absolutely just, oh, here's that shithead. Okay, so I just keep coming back to all of the broken English.
Oh, yeah, it's brutal. It's absolutely brutal.
And like, I totally get that given their station in life in China, which would have led them to a point in time in which these characters would have unwittingly opted into sex slavery to get to the U.S., that they wouldn't speak great English, but everything about this still feels so fucking wrong.
I mean, particularly because I think we're up to the point where Lily jumps out of the courthouse window.
She says, after today, I free as a bird.
This whole scene, like, this is like peak, really embarrassing accent. Yeah. Like, really, really bad. And I know what you're saying.
She calls Benson the big boss, and I'm assuming that's a Bruce Lee reference, but I don't know.
But, I mean, there's a way to have an accent that isn't like a cartoon.
Well, and like she's working with what she's given, though. Like the dialogue is absolutely painting her into this corner.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with you. I think it's their fault, not hers. But it's really cartoonish. It's bad. I mean, I don't know how you can write this with a straight face in 2019. It's just horrifying. Now, when she's standing there in front of the courthouse, staring around. This exact patch of concrete that she's standing on, Foley Square, is less than 5 minutes walk from the massage parlor. They totally walked by it on one of their hour-long outings. And it's surrounded by skyscrapers that are massive compared to the courthouse. The courthouse is not that big. And so she says, it's so big, I've never seen anything like it. She's literally around the corner from there.
Yeah. Now, I think maybe I jumped ahead with that. I can't remember how it happens in sequence. But Rick thinking that the girls are grateful to see him walk in the door so they can squeeze some ejac out of his tiny dick.
Oh, Rick is I go back and forth because they were. Again, it's,
who I don't know which one's worse. Is it Rick or Theo?
Yeah, which one's more odious? They're both really bad.
They're both irredeemable pieces of shit. Like, maybe the most irredeemable pieces of shit in history.
Yeah.
But, like, it's hard to say which one's worse. And then fucking Avi, the dad, walks in and squints and slouches and fucking sleaces his way through this scene.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm just sitting there like, can you imagine how horrible dinners at the Olin household would be?
I mean,
like utter fucking nightmares.
Again, this is what I picture the Kushner family.
The
Kushner family Seder to be
you
like.
brought up the Kushners, and I think the name Avi Olin. What the fuck?
Do you think it's a breast reference?
No, Olin's a Scandinavian last name. It's almost always Swedish.
That's true, and Avi is definitely like you think of it as a Jewish first name.
Very much not a Swedish name. So I'm just sitting there like, where the fuck is that all coming from? How is a character named Avi Olin? I mean, that's some fucking Japanese video game baseball shit. Like, just choosing two names that have, I mean, at least they're two real names and not made up names based on syllables thrown together, like, you know, they would have been if you were on RBI 3 or something. But Jesus Christ.
So Rick Olin and his lawyer. I might need to feed this guy in a second. Yeah. But Rick Olin and his lawyer really get a kick out of the photos of Rick getting a hand job from May and Lily. I don't know if you noticed that. They both were chuckling quite a bit about them.
Were they both showing hard also?
I mean, they were at the, they were sitting at one of those tables in the interrogation room, so couldn't see. Now, the lawyer says basta, implying that he's Italian. And my thinking is, not to go down this road, but in a world of such casual racism as this episode of SVU, who gets an Italian lawyer? Am I right?
So then we start getting.
Hold on,
more
let me go get the milk, and this guy will calm down for a while.
Word.
We're gonna give you some leche. How's that sound? Margaret Cho's daughter is getting into UC Davis. Davis, California is a really underrated town. I don't know if you've ever spent any time there. It's like a little oasis of green inside the Central Valley. It's lovely. Highly recommended. I got my
well, it's kind of on a mountainside, right?
No, it's more just it's like I'm telling you, it's like dead in between San Francisco and Sacramento on whatever that is, 80. I think that's 80.
Okay.
And it's flat, but it's like forested as opposed to being the kind of brown of the rest of the valley. Right. I got my dry cleaning done there. I think I ate it just at an In-N-Out because I hadn't been in California in a long time. Fuck In-N-Out. I don't care about In-N-Out. But Davis is lovely.
It's fine.
Yeah.
It is what it like.
I mean, it's a fast food burger. It's just not that.
I like it when In-N-Out would be like brought to set.
Yeah. Oh, I bet. I mean, it's good.
But I don't want to sit in line for fucking 35 minutes in a car.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's fucking stupid. It's not that great. It's good.
There would be no point in time in my life in which I am going to be sitting parked on a street waiting to pull into the parking lot.
Yes. I'm not blocking traffic for off-menu items.
Yeah. So I kind of think that Benson probably calls UC Davis anyway, right?
Oh, yeah, I'm sure she does. I mean, what the fuck? Yeah.
Like Evelyn's kid.
This is what cops do. They destroy people's lives if they have any excuse to. Oh.
Now, I will say arresting the rich in public is the best.
Yeah, big fan of that.
It is the cat's pajamas. Love that.
I do love that. Love more.
Let him stand up and take a bow first.
So they had to ruin it kind of with a little bit of racism at the end. But the bookkeeping operation underneath the travel agency, Josh, there were like 50 people working there. What kind of criminal enterprise has this level of bureaucracy?
Well, some of the people are just straight up working for the travel agency. Like it's a legit business through which they also run.
On the top floor is the travel agency, but in the cave, in the dungeon, that was not travel agency work being done down there.
But that's probably the U.S. office.
I mean, they had more people working there than in fucking New Jack City in the drug den where they have to have their tits out to not steal any cocaine.
Yeah.
Yeah, amazing. But they did ruin it by calling it the Chang's Iron Mountain, which is like, man, does everything have to be racist?
Yeah. So her fucking justification for becoming a sex trafficker
doesn't really hold water to me.
No, like it's not even a justification, really. You're just sitting there the whole time like, what the fuck? So the Cultural Revolution made her doctor parents criminals, and we're supposed to leap from their like ostracization to trafficking women is okay.
Yeah.
Like that leap is fucking huge.
Yeah, so for one thing, I did a fair amount of research on the Cultural Revolution. There were many horrible things. There were multiple massacres, including one in Guangdong, which is essentially where she's from. Right. So she says she's from a home village called Dalang. Now, Dalang is not the sticks. It is part of the largest urban area, both in size and population, on planet Earth. That is the Pearl River Delta, which includes Guangzhou, which in English is Canton, Shenzhen, Hong Kong, Macau, and Dalang, which is part of it. Something like 57 million people live in the Pearl River Delta. Oh no!
I mean, that's a huge area.
It's a big area, but we're talking like an area that's not dramatically bigger than. Oh my goodness! It's kind of like Northern Virginia and Baltimore, kind of area, but just happens to have 3 really mega cities in it. And a kind of conurbation. Dalang's part of that conurbation. It's sort of between Guangzhou and Shenzhen, which are both just absolutely massive cities. Yeah. It is not the sticks.
Well, like if you drive from LA to fucking
San Diego, it takes a long ass time.
It takes a long ass time, and there's really no point at which you feel like you've left one and entered the other.
Exactly, it's like
and
that.
LA is like really like LA's broken up into 3 different fucking metro areas per like U.S. Census data.
Yeah, exactly. Because also Riverside is considered its own.
Yeah, Riverside, San Bernardino is its own thing.
Which I don't
Anaheim,
understand.
Orange County's its own thing.
I don't understand how Riverside San Bernardino is, because there's nothing there that doesn't look like a suburb to me.
Yeah, no, it's also but obviously that's not how they're defining it.
But Shenzhen, Guangzhou, and Hong Kong are 3 massive cities. But there is this, and they are distinct, but there is a sort of large urban area that's connecting them. Now, obviously, back during the Cultural Revolution, which happened between 1967 and Chairman Mao's death in 1976, it would have been less urban than it is today. Still, however, not the sticks at all. Also, one of the things, so I did look a little bit into the Cultural Revolution. Again, horrible things happened or are alleged to have happened, because it's always hard to find out. I guess I don't trust much information about enemies of the United States.
Yeah. Well, and like it's really hard to discern because you've got obviously a lot of just propaganda coming from our side,
from lots,
and then from China, like no information's getting out that.
Well, and so Cultural Revolution, you have multiple competing kind of cliques, and it is kind of an effect to kind of So after the failure of the Great Leap Forward in the 60s, which is many people, there was a famine that killed many millions of people likely. Chairman Mao kind of switched things up, did this Cultural Revolution thing where they were going to kind of get rid of bourgeois influences. But in many ways, it was a bunch of little regional power struggles between various factions inside the Communist Party. Some of them led to pretty notorious massacres. There's one large-scale outbreak of cannibalism, allegedly, and probably the deaths of somewhere between 400,000 and a few million people. Like, pretty bad stuff. Pretty brutal, awful stuff. Still, one of the groups that I could not find being persecuted in it was doctors. So lots of groups were, particularly, like people that would be considered cultural actors. So
academics,
people in media, things like that. They would definitely be targeted. But not doctors. Doctors actually, one of the groups that, at least as far as my limited research, not really targeted.
Yeah, I mean, it's possible.
It's possible. Absolutely. It's absolutely possible. And clearly, probably not a very wonderful time to be alive. But
no, surely. Now, I will say, like, I don't think the motivation makes sense, or the motivation for getting into sex trafficking doesn't make sense. Yeah. But I will say it was nice to see a longtime bit player get an episode with like a big scene to throw on the reel.
Yeah, she had a pretty good scene. That scene was good, and she pulled it off. You're right. I mean, it is a little weird to go from like, I was forced into prostitution because of my destitution, and so I decided to save thousands and thousands of girls by forcing them into prostitution.
Yeah.
Because honestly, her path is kind of like the path of actual many real life women who choose sex work as the best bad option, I guess, and are able to do it for a certain amount of time and then lead a life after that is not 100% defined by it. But it is a little weird to go from that to okay, now I'm making slave laborers out of these women that I'm saving.
Yeah. Okay, so everything goes tits up in court. Yeah. They're fucking...
U.S. attorneys show up. And the fucking Changs are too rich, basically. Yeah.
So then they cut to the scene to like, okay, well, at least we got a small victory here and May's free or whatever. When May's on the phone with her brother... It feels like they wouldn't need to tell each other about the broken plate.
Yeah, no.
Like they both know the story. They fucking lived it.
Well,
and it's not an interesting enough story that I want to hear it as a viewer.
No.
Like
absolutely,
it does not. I feel like that scene that little exchange does not work.
That doesn't seem like an actual experience that two people would remember from 20 years in the future.
And then but it was father. Like who cares?
Yeah, I mean. Do a little bit more work and come up with the actual anecdote that makes that would be something you talk about.
That's also, I mean, the threshold is, okay, is this like good enough to actually be on television?
Yeah.
And I don't think that, I don't think their little anecdote from...
Yeah. We make 22 episodes a season, right?
Yeah.
Mariska Hargitay gets paid $500,000 per episode.
Right.
Is this anecdote worth whatever 500,000 divided by whatever 43 minutes is? So if you
and I mean each episode probably cost $2 million,
something like that. Yeah. Do you think that's with all salaries and crew and all the other
that's what
sundries?
I would guess, yeah.
Okay, so
maybe less, but not much less.
I mean, I can't do the math in my head right now, but we're talking about like tens of thousands of dollars a minute, right? And you're going to take up a full minute of time with this anecdote, waste, I don't know, $20,000 or something on this anecdote, essentially.
Yeah, it's told through cell phones.
It's not a $20,000 anecdote. In fact, I don't...
Like, on half of it happening on Facebook.
I don't know why, for the life of me, they didn't end the episode with her getting hauled out of court and staring down May. Because when she calls out of the court and she stares down May, I think, oh, well, Carisi lost this case. Mamie's brother's going to die anyways, and everything's shit. But no, that's not exactly what happens.
No, we get a weird small victory. And
yeah.
It's like,
that's whatever. Stupid. Josh, can we just rank this piece of shit? We got to the end of it. I don't really have much more to talk about. I don't feel great about talking about this episode either, because it's just...
No.
It's just... You know what? I wish they had gotten Lucy Liu to direct it, And I think... Maybe it could have been done a little bit more
delicately.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, let's get to rating it.
Yeah, okay. Max, you don't want me to rate this, do you? Do you want to drink the rest of your leche? Hold on. Just gotta not bring my computer down to the ground. All right. So, guys, every week we rank these episodes. Of course, we rank them on 4 criteria, a 10-point scale for each criteria. We rank the quality, the guests, how problematic it was. Now, problematic from our perspective generally is a good thing. We like problematic that is fun and makes us kind of feel icky, but in a good way. So this one will be an interesting, I think, ranking this time. And then the depth and breadth of lives ruined. So let's start with the quality. There's certain things about it that I like, right? I like the way they shoot the kind of sting scenes. I think there's kind of good filmmaking going on. There's kind of good acting by the SVU cast members. I think they're all
right, and it's something we also don't see a lot.
Yeah, no, it's
and
fun.
It's still kind of pulled off.
Well, I guess I would say that I think that Rollins, Kat, and Finn do a good job. I don't really know about Benson has some weird moments in this episode, and I guess Carisi's fine.
Carisi does.
He's fine,
Carisi's
fine. But it's not fun to watch. It felt like it was like 2 hours long the first time I watched it.
Yeah.
It's brutal with
it's
the fucking
not like
accent shit.
It's not one of the just in terms of episode quality and not getting to like how fucked up everything is.
Yeah.
It's not
screwed.
It's not like all time awful.
Yeah, it's not screwed awful.
It's not asunder.
Yeah.
It's not it's not that bad.
But it's like a 2.
But at the same
right?
time, I think it's probably a 3.
I don't know, man. So Hunt, Trap, Rape, and Release, we gave a 3 to. And I think that was substantially better than that.
I don't think that was substantially better than this.
Okay, so what else do we got?
I think they're roughly equivalent. I honestly think they're about the same.
We had a run of 3s in a row. So we had the Paz de la Huerta Great Granny Penny Hustle chat room. Which was the first of these.
That was just insane.
That was insane. We had the Carrie Green Stolen.
If Stolen's a 3, I think this is a 3.
Okay. We had Annie Potts and Skip Sudduth Rockabye.
If that's a 3, this is a 3 too.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll give it a 3. Because I think it's going to lose some points in some of these other ones. Guest stars, Josh. I don't think it's necessarily their faults.
Right.
But
and I think we need to isolate performance and what's asked of them. I don't think it's I don't think it's good for guest stars.
No.
I'm inclined to go with like a 3 here also.
Yeah, we gave Hunt, Trap, Rape, and Release another 3.
Yeah, I think it's suffering from the same things that was.
I mean, honestly, I think that one had just straight up bad performances, especially from Annabella Sciorra. Yeah. This one does not. I think it has better. There's some good performances, particularly I think Margaret Cho is pretty good in her role.
Yeah, Margaret Cho's good. I think Nelson Lee's good as Joe Chin. I think
Lawrence Cow's pretty good.
And Karen Sen Lee, I think is her name.
Yeah, but at the same time, the accent shit is so bad that we have to give this like a 2 or a 3.
I think the accent shit isn't on them.
Yeah, but we have to reflect it somewhere.
Oh no! I'm saying like that's only my that's my line of demarcation between 2 and 3.
Okay.
If I felt like it was a choice, and not like written into the script.
No, it was definitely like whoever told them to do it, they were directed to do that.
Right. And so then I don't think that's on them, and I do think that there are a handful of good scenes.
Yeah.
That are good scenes because of the guest actors.
Okay, so you're saying a 3.
I would say 3.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, let's skip problematic real quick, and let's talk about the depth and breadth of lives ruined, because I think this is a slightly more straightforward ask. Because Lily dies, but that's really the fallout. Lily dies. And the other girls that work at that spa presumably don't have a place to work anymore. So that's a little bit of fallout. But I guess Charlie, his love died. Maybe the mom got roughed up. I mean, she did have a gun pulled on her face. Great. We didn't really talk about that photo. Loved that photo. Really, really great second unit work.
We also have all of these sex workers getting raped.
Well, by Theo Pappas.
Everyone but Lily. Everyone but Lily per Charlie is getting raped.
That's true. Now, I hate to be callous, but we're not talking about above average fallout here.
No, I don't think it's above average, but it's not like a 1 or a 2.
No, it's not a 1 or a 2. It's a 3 or a 4. So it's like, where do we?
I'd probably go to 4 on it.
So we had the Skylar Fisk, Jelko Ivanek. We gave a 4. Which I don't
see how this is any different than a 4 then.
Yeah. The Carrie Green one, we also had a 4. I don't remember anything that happened in any of these episodes. The Marley Matlin one.
Stolen was the weird. Stolen was the.
The Marley Matlin one was a 4, and if I recall, like everybody kind of did all right in the end of that one, except for the one guy who's. Yeah. So okay.
The
4.
kid also.
Yeah, but the kid finally, because Marley Matlin gave him the kidney.
Yeah, but she doesn't have one now.
Yeah, but whatever.
Yeah. But I would say that this is probably akin to that.
Yeah. So okay. So now we get to the one that's like a challenge to rank, I suppose, because it's certainly highly.
This is probably the most challenging. Yeah, way problematic.
But it's way problematic in the exact wrong way for us, right? Like we want to see Andrew McCarthy.
Not entirely.
But we want to see Andrew McCarthy. You're right. So we want to see Andrew McCarthy relishing in whatever his like bizarre kinkdom and like threatening Liv to get off the chair and onto the couch. We want to see that. That is nothing but fun. Like
sure.
Watching Skylar Fisk and Jelko Ivanek have an extremely creepy father-daughter hug out. That's really fun.
Over the shoulder of characters who are questioning them.
Yeah, really fun.
yeah, that's fun as fuck. Okay,
watching these actors deliver lines with that broken ass, Charlie Chan accent is bad. It's brutal.
Right. So that's a huge thing against it. In problematic terms.
All of the rub and tug photos are huge things in its favor.
Yes, exactly. Those are huge things in its favor. We also... Oh, fuck, what was it? God damn it, there was another thing that I had.
I mean, the photo... all of the kind of, I guess it was probably second unit. I'm not entirely sure. But basically anything that they filmed with a non-traditional camera setup was great in this. So whether it was the surveillance footage or the second unit photographs, all of that stuff was great. And problematic.
I mean, there's also, we have to watch a 5-second clip of a rape happening on a tablet. We've also got these Kushnarian Durstian fucks who are super problematic.
They're my favorite part of the episode because
but they're relishing how like they're really like wallowing in the muck here.
Oh yeah, they're great. All three of them. The dad, the son, and Theo Pappas are all just really creeps.
Okay, I remembered what the other thing I couldn't think of was. So I have to say that her rationale for becoming a sex trafficker is problematic in the way that we like.
Yeah. Oh, well, okay. One, it leads us down like a little history deep dive, and two, it's like
it's absurd. It's completely fucking batshit. There's no way that this makes sense.
The Chinese Communist Party made me a massive international horse smuggler.
So like that's super fun also. So I mean, obviously, like this has an above average amount of problematic things that are problematic in the ways that we like.
Yes. However,
and then it has the big strike against
overwhelming
it. So,
strike
I think
against
if it didn't hit,
it's not a 1.
The fucking insane thing is, in 10 years, I bet we would look back on this and be like, oh, that's so problematic. And we would rate the problematic way higher.
Yeah.
But we're just not going to, because it's as recent as it is.
Yeah.
So I think it would be like a 6 or a 7 if it didn't have all the like, these are creative choices and they are making these actors talk in like as caricatures.
Yeah. That's the problem I have. And I feel like that.
I think it's still got to be at least like a 3 or a 4.
Yeah. As a viewer though, you're watching it and that overwhelms the other stuff. You know, you look for these islands of fun in this, like, you know, sea of cringe is how I would put it. So I don't know, a 3? Yeah. Is 3 okay? Because I don't think it was better than Hunt, Trap, Rape, and Release overall.
I honestly don't know that it wasn't. I think Hunt, Trap, Rape, and Release is not very good.
No, I didn't think so either. But I didn't think that it was.
And I don't think that it's discernibly, like, even with our rubric, I don't think it's discernibly better than this.
Well, okay, I don't think it was necessarily better, but I don't think that one was embarrassing the way that this one is. Like, that one was not a great episode, but I think that this one is embarrassing, which I think is a problem.
But Annabella Sciorra is so bad in that one.
She really is. She's really bad.
And like a lot is relying on her.
Uh-huh. I mean, she's the big guest. She's the get.
She's a returning whatever. Okay, so
I will say I like 3.
3's fine.
Okay,
I'm fine with 3.
Okay, and
so that gives us what, a 3.25?
It does. It gives us look at the math on Josh over here.
Yep.
3.25, which you know, so it's a little below Hunt, Trap, Rape, and Release, which is a 3.75. Let's see what else is in the neighborhood. We gave a 3.375 to Turmoil, another second unit photo shoot gone wild, which you know, can't fucking remember that one.
Yeah.
That was the one.
No, that's the one with Dickie and his friend.
Yes.
His friend dies.
Yes. So okay, same kind of.
Yeah, that one gets undone by unimaginably bad police work.
Yeah. So we gave a 3. So this one was slightly better than the Ali Wentworth episode, Melancholy Pursuit, which of course.
I think that this is markedly better than that, but whatever.
Maybe they just assumed there was semen because Warner was there. Yeah, I mean,
it's weird when our episode titles are way better than the episode itself.
Yeah, so I just feel like with this one, you had a good episode and you had an interesting topic, completely undone by choices made by the people responsible for writing and directing the actors in it, And I think you got to get dinged for that because they didn't have to do this. And I think especially, I think it looks worse in 2021 than it did in 2019, maybe because of that shooting in Atlanta, which we didn't talk about because I didn't feel like it actually...
It wasn't germane to this.
No, because I mean, I know it's the same world, but it wasn't about... This episode wasn't about that. It was about Robert Kraft more than anything.
Right. Who, you know, big piece of shit.
Yeah, total piece of shit.
Alleged big piece of shit.
I mean,
big piece of shit.
Yeah, I mean, just you see his tan and his French cuffs. He's obviously a piece of shit, Josh. You don't even have to hear him talk.
Yeah, like he probably has like sex toy cufflinks.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. He's got dick cufflinks. He's definitely got dick cufflinks.
Yeah. I bet he's got a Prince Albert too. Anyway,
should we roll the next episode
anymore? Yeah, let's roll it. So we're firing up the randomizer.
Got my fingers
powered by
crossed
Flet
here.
over at episode.lol. All right, the tape is spinning. Bill and Ted are saying that they hate this part. And looks like we have season 19, episode 1. This is the first episode of the Michael Chernuchin era. The overview says that this episode is when Finn crosses international borders to catch a fugitive rapist. A political tug-of-war derails Barbara's legal case. Meanwhile, shocking allegations against Benson lead to the return of an old friend. This episode features Will Chase from Nashville fame, Amy Smart from, most importantly, the Crank movies. And then we've got Dean Winters and Peter Jacobson.
Peter Jacobson as defense attorney Randy Dworkin, though.
Yes, which is pretty wild, seeing as though he was Bart Ganzel, who was fucking Dean Winters, who was goddamn Cassidy's boss.
Yeah, for three episode
massive episodes,
mega arc, like
yes,
the height of the season as far as plot fucking shit goes.
Yeah,
the height of the series, rather.
Very safe to say that this next episode is going to be a massive brain melter.
It clearly has a lot of Noah in it, so we got that to look forward to.
Yep.
Just
okay.
Reading ahead. So we'll see.
Yeah.
I don't know. Anyways.
Fingers crossed.
Anyways, apologize to you guys. I was hopefully going to have a babysitter today, but then the climate change didn't want to play along with me. So.
Yeah. It is what it is.
We got a little Max.
Yeah. So, as always, please head on over to Apple Podcasts and rate and review the pod.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah. Also, follow us on the socials. We answer questions and stuff on there. Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah. Always be munching, guys.
My zeal to help others down the golden path. My path has deviated. And for this, I must atone.
Who's gonna change my bag?